Morning devotional, we are going to repeat what we preached last night in the service here in Baltimore from Mark 9. The reason is because it's kind of sticking in my mind. It's Mark 9. There's the transfiguration. Jesus comes down from the mountain, and we see Satan having a victory over a young boy. He is indwelt by demon spirits, or a deaf and dumb spirit, and it stubbornly won't leave him. Jesus saw the crowd in verse 25. He rebuked the unclean spirit. You mute and deaf spirit, I command you, come out of him and never enter him again. After crying out and convulsing him terribly, it came out. The boy was like a corpse, so that most of them said, he is dead. But Jesus took him by the hand, lifted him up, and he arose. And when he had entered the house, his disciples asked him privately, why could we not cast it out? Why could we not cast it out? That's the phrase that we spoke on last night in the introduction of the message. There are things we are not able to do. You go from the Mount of Transfiguration and you see millennial glory. You see Elijah, Moses, Jesus talking like in the millennium, and the glory of God is very strong. Yeah, you get a glimpse of that anticipated, and so we do. And then coming down the mountain, there is this satanic activity. Always we learn in life, in our experiences, we learn. And the disciples were learning. There were 9 down below that could not cast out. There were 3 with Jesus up in the Mount of Transfiguration. There were 9 down below. They could not cast out the spirit. Why could we not cast him out? They asked Jesus privately in the house. So there is public and there's private talk, teaching. There's public and then there's private. And we should be able to talk directly and frankly, honestly with Christ and say, why couldn't we cast him out? I think sometimes we do talk like that. Why wasn't my prayer answered? Why couldn't you heal this sick person? Why couldn't I have a better influence? Why am I weak and frail? Why couldn't we cast out this demon? And Jesus answered, with this kind, it must be prayer and fasting. That's what he said. I love the fact he answers us. I love the fact that we can be honest and direct and ask. And he's there. You see, the disciples had this dependency on Christ. They enjoyed it. They could talk to him. He was leading them beyond themselves, a kingdom on the earth that you and I are part of. We are learning to live in it, walk in it, and we are being taught by God in this world that we live in. And to say, why couldn't this happen, isn't a bad question. We may get a very good answer. We also are walking with Christ as they did. And you should have a sense of that confidence and that sense of resolution and that sense of growing affirmation that you are understanding things, you are learning things. In our experience with the presence of God, with words that are able to comfort us, edify us, and encourage us. And that's what happens when we walk with Jesus. Amen.